Hello and welcome back. So today I'm going to do a light code transmission to connect to the eighth dimension. So to bring in love and light and to say thank you to my guides and to connect to source energy. This week has been really heavy. I've been carrying that emotional, I suppose, burden and frustration of what's being rolled out across the workplaces. It's not only affected people that I care about, but it also affected me in the last 48 hours. But the good news is that I woke up today without back pain, and I realized that whenever I have lower back pain, it's actually a reflection of the frustration and the resistance that I'm having from within. So it's a trigger. And I realize now my body's talking to me when I'm having back pain to work through whatever pain or suffering that I'm creating in my head. But this morning it was totally different. I woke up pain-free, and the reason why is because I got my hands on some amazing literature that is going to change the policy very quickly when I send it back to my big boss. So that's okay. I'm happy to sit and wait for the letter to come through. But the good news is that, it just shows us that when we pray and we think about the reality that we want to see, the 5D earth, it does happen. And it really did happen. I've been praying on this. I've been asking for a sign, some sort of miracle. And when I learned about the Australian Constitution and I learned about Section 51, and it says in black and white, you cannot enforce any employee to get vaccinated, I thought, wow, I've got exactly what I need. And it is a fact. And it is a federal government law. So you can't override that. The states are now playing up. They're doing what they want to do. But at the end of the day, it's a federal government law. And I felt so good. And I was just smiling from ear to ear. And you know who sent it out to me. So I thank you 100% and over because it just changed my life overnight. So I think what I need to do is to ensure that back pain doesn't come back, because I feel very grounded, and I feel very comfortable now. I feel at ease. Okay. But it's really important to check in where you're at with the current environment, because it's affecting all of us. I'm seeing a lot of people just starting to give up and just go, I'm just over it. What do I got to do to get out of this? And it really does take a lot of mental and emotional strength to hold yourself to stay courageous through this. Because freedom is from within. It's never on the outside. No one can ever tell you, you're free now to go out and do this. It feels like that, but I don't feel like my freedom has been restricted. If anything, I've got so much more time on my hand. I'm starting to read more, and I'm starting to do things at a slower pace. So I'm actually grateful in some ways, because it's teaching me to be mindful during my day, especially over the weekends where I'm not rushed to be anywhere or to do anything. So my light code today is, definitely just to say thank you to Source Energy. Thank you for God for listening to the prayers. And I know it's a collective consciousness. There is a whole group of us that are in this situation, wanting some sort of direction, and having faith has allowed us to find the information that we needed. And the people, certain politicians, are now speaking up and calling out the truth. And it's all just going to catch up, and I can see that there is definitely two narratives playing out. There is still the 3D, which is fear-based, but this 5D gives you a sense of hope. And it's just this sense of relief and this sense of euphoria from within, because now nobody can override this. This is the law. So no matter what anyone writes or tells you what you have to do, all you have to do is quietly just show them and say, read this, and then come back to me. So I've printed all my documents. I've got all my evidence ready. And now I just, pray for God's guidance to give me the strength to do what I have to do for my rights. Because I believe in pro-choice. And I believe actually in my own natural immunity. Even to do light codes and that, there is a lot happening on a metaphysical and quantum level. And so that's why I love to do this at least once a week as a booster to, protect my sacred DNA and to give it its own protection shield. So so that's what I want to bring in today. I want to do a quick light code, see what comes through, but definitely do it for a sense of healing, and for anyone else who's watching, just to give you the strength that you need to stand your ground and to stay in your wholeness, and to have faith that, no mud, no lotus. We're in the mud. We're in the mud of it, but I know that the lotus is there. And we just have to have faith that she's going to come through, that beautiful feminine energy. The masculine energy is the mud, but the beautiful lotus, it's just under there. And it's just about to surface. And I feel like it's going to happen October. I feel like, we just had the equinox with that earthquake, and that was the huge shift that needed to happen. And it's interesting, it was all around that time. And now I feel like October's coming and spring, and there's this sense of feminine energy that's going to just pull through this. And I really know that things are going to start to shake up. So hang on for the ride. It's a bumpy ride, but you just got to know that in the end, I feel that it's going to smooth out. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to smooth out. So let's see what comes through. But I'm tapping into source energies, they're the purest light form, connecting to God, connecting to Christ consciousness. I'm tapping into my guides and asking for my soul language, my interdimensional language to come through. Tapping into the 8th dimension. My presence connected to the 8th dimension and show me. Oh, my hasha toto, oh, my achetoro, oh, my amarekutokoma, shototoro, ma, oh, marakitokoro, ma, shototoro, ma, I shototoro, ma, shototara, amakata, amarekitekara, ma, ashatata, or makatara, ma, ashatama. Akoramato, or ma, shototoro, mokuta, amarekiteka, armoko, amarekitekoro, ma, asha. Oh, shatatara, ma, shototoro, makuta, ma, amarekitekora. Okotoma ashototori mikita korama ashata marakatora ma amarakata. Oshototori mikita ma amarakatora ma ashototori ma ashototori ma omarakata karakona ma stekarikamata amaraka. Okorama ashototori mikita korama ashototori ma a. Oshototori ma ekorama ashototori kidimaka amarakata korako. Okorama amarakata korama ashkata karakora ma ashototori ma a. Ashototorma, Akatekorma, Ashiteterma, Ashototorma, Akorma, Ashototorma, Korma, Ashotorma, Akorma, O Maha Marakata, O Maraketa Korma, Ashototorma, Kita Korma, Orma Atotorma, Katekorma. Akototomirikitaka, Makato, O Marikita Korma, Ashototorma, Kita Korkarama, Akoro Orma Katarama, Okoramakita Korma, Marakita Korma. Oshototorma, Ashototorma, Ashototorma, Kotorma, Amarakita Korma. Oshototorma, Kita Maramada, Korokote, Marakata Korokaraka. Oshototorma, Ki Korma, Ashototorma, Ashototorma, Karakarakata. Ototorma, Katekarakorma, Ashototorma, Kita Korma, Karakotorma, Ashototorma, Karakotorma, Katakorma, Ashototorma, Katakorma, Katakorma, Ashototorma, Kita Korokarama. Oshototorma, Karakarama, Oshototorma, Oshototorma, Kete, Okotorma, Katekarakorma, Katakorma. Ashototorama, ashototorama, kitakarama, 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 kitakarama. Oshototorama, shitamara, kitakarama, ashototorama, kitakarama, 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 ashototorama, kitakarama. Oshototorama, kitakarama, katarama, ashototorama, kitakarama, ashototorama, ah. Oshototorama, kitakarama, ashototorama, kitakarama, ama, kitakarama. Karakatera, karakatera, shasha, bindera, bindera, shasha. Coming back into light force energy. Coming back from the 8th dimension back into the 3rd dimension. Now show me. So I shuffled up my Kuan Yin deck and I chose, or this one came out of the pack, it was number 33, 10 Sisters of Light. You are on an advanced soul and have lived many incarnations, shone your light through many different faces. Your soul has learned many skill in past lives, developed abilities and talents. This lifetime is cultivating lifetime in the sense that your soul is drawing together potencies developed over many lifetimes into unified expression. It is like a drawing on the power of the 10 sisters or more into your one current lifetime. Be prepared to grow and shine, beloved. The higher self likes to integrate the wisdom it has gleaned over many experiences and lifetimes, so that nothing is lost and all is enhanced. You are in the process of a spiritual weaving and integration at a soul level now. This means that skills and abilities that you hardly recognize consciously will become more obvious to you. And you may find you know things from different traditions that you have no recollection of ever learning. And you may feel strangely drawn to start studying different healing arts or martial arts, for example, only to find out that it's somehow familiar to your heart. It is to be patient and open and trusting in the journey. It is an intense time of spiritual growth. As in the integration, there's also shedding of the old issues and pain that no longer serve you. That's very interesting. So I think the main message, and I love the prayer, I'm just going to read that out. Dear Divine Kuan Yin, Om Namaya, I call upon the 10 Sisters of Light that love me unconditionally. I call upon your grace, protection, and assistance now in releasing past life wounds and patterns so that more of my light may manifest into the present moment. Please bless this process with your mercy, compassion, and grace. Thank you, beloveds. Om Mani Padme Hum. And I think the greatest takeaway for me is I do want to be able to stand strong and in my feminine energy. And when the policy comes through the workplace, I want to be able to return what I need to say with mercy, compassion, and grace. I want to be able to show the others that read this that what you have pushed onto people is unfair, and you should never coerce anyone to do anything of what they feel is right for their body. So I want to be able to teach, but I also want to be able to be humble about it. So let's see what happened. But I feel very happy and pleased that I've learned a lot more about my rights, and I think it's really important that people do your research, because the average person doesn't. They just, ignorance is bliss. They are just ignorant to the facts, and they're just doing what the majority are doing. But if you start to believe in yourself and ask for guidance from Source or from God, it will come to you. So I'm very grateful that I was able to manifest, and through the connection of really good friends now, we were able to bring our heads together and use it for the highest good. So good luck with the rest of your week, and I will catch up with you very soon. Bye for now.